The tribal chief is back on Raw, and he is back to running the entire show. But where does Jimmy stand with Roman, and where does Jay stand with everybody? Who's next in line for the World Heavyweight Championship? And Becky Lynch lost a match to Maxine Dupree. This is the Raw recap of WWE and Fanatics original production. Oh, Megan, you got to admit, that was one of the great cold opens in the history of Raw recap. Really?
Great? We're throwing out the word great?
I thought it was, honestly, okay, I'll tell you, it was one of the more slick cold opens in the history of Raw recap. Well, we'll get to your grievance.
I have grievances.
We'll get to the airing of grievances, as is tradition, when it's time. But first, to me, we have to headline this show with everything that Roman Reigns did. Roman Reigns, who lives by this thing of being like, hey, own every room that you walk into. And we heard him tonight on Monday Night Raw telling Jey Uso that that's the lesson, to own every room that you walk into. And I felt like Roman Reigns is back, and Roman Reigns is back. All of a sudden, after weeks of no Roman, he's everywhere. He's omnipresent. He's not just showing up to do his segment and then getting in his Escalade and driving home, like he did in the days with the Wise Man. No.
Multiple backstage segments for Roman Reigns.
Sticking around for the whole show because he's seeing and hearing everything.
Well, even when he's not there, he
Of course.
still sees and hears everything, which we also found out tonight.
Yeah, there were a couple of moments tonight when I went, oh, and then an expletive, because you're like, yeah, we're getting a payoff on this. So it starts, okay, all right. So right off the bat, I want to say that it is clear to me that Roman Reigns has never been less afraid of Big Bronson Reed. And I have evidence. Cold hard evidence, okay? For a long time, there was this theory that was going around on certain parts of the internet that Roman Reigns would not wear his nice shoes around Bronson Reed. Remember, because we would say, well, the shoes that Bronson Reed got, traditional with the sneaker collection that Roman Reigns has, the ones that Bronson Reed ended up stealing are not top shelf sneakers. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It was like, okay.
They're nice.
They're nice. And no disrespect to anybody that has them or loves them. But it was the fact that he stole them from Roman, not what they were. Roman Reigns walked into Monday Night Raw with undefeated fours on. And undefeated fours, if you get Roman's undefeated fours, that is a pair of sneakers. And he walked right in, and not only under the threat of physicality from Bronson Reed, but he challenged Bronson Reed to physicality, and he was wearing undefeated fours. And I'm telling you right now that there maybe are two people that caught that, me, but the other one is Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed is a sneaker guy, and I've got to, and maybe I'm going too deep into this, but I've got to believe that when Bronson Reed saw that Roman was wearing some top shelf sneakers, he went, oh, maybe the tribal chief's not afraid of me anymore.
That's a great point.
Maybe he's got my number.
I did not notice.
Yes.
The undefeated fours?
Yes.
Did not notice those shoes that Roman was wearing. But I mean, it is a great point because Roman has not had just one pair of shoes taken from the tribal thief. He's had two and then was also put on a stretcher. So to come out with some of your top shelf stuff is a statement.
Yeah, letting him know, oh no, we're ready for this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we see Bronson Reed interrupting him right away. And we know how Roman feels about his family. And so for Bronson Reed to be taking the names of Afa and Sika in vain, I said this could be a huge mistake. I don't know if this is the road that you want to go down. But Roman took it in stride and said, you know what my father would say if you were here right now?
Well, first of all, he called out Paul Heyman and said, that dumbass standing next to you.
He said it.
He knows my uncles, my uncle and my father.
That's right.
You did not know them.
Right.
And dumbass, what would my father say right now?
That's right.
Right here, right now.
That's right. Right here, right now. I'm ready to fight. Heyman says, no. Heyman says, we're on no, don't do this on Roman's terms. Do it on your terms. So the challenge is made for the Australian street fight, another match added to Crown Jewel on Saturday in Perth, we get an Australian street fight between Bronson Reed and Roman Reigns. Now, I do think of all rule sets, historically, a street fight would benefit Bronson Reed.
Without question. But I think Roman Reigns is in a situation here where I know he defeated Bronson Reed last time they faced each other.
Didn't look like it.
It did not look like it at the end of the night.
No.
I think Roman's back's against the wall, and he has to find a way to beat Bronson Reed.
Well, not only does he beat Bronson Reed, because he beat him before, but in a street fight scenario, there's no sort of post-match attack that you're worried about. In a street fight scenario, it's the guy that walks out is the guy that won. At Clash in Paris, the guy that walked out wasn't the guy that won in the record books, but it's the guy that made the statement. In an Australian street fight, the guy that walks out is the guy that wins. And I really think, that Roman Reigns is on a multi-leveled plan right now. And I think that there are multiple people that Roman has to get to. But if Roman can't get through Bronson Reed, then that becomes kind of the end of the plan.
Yeah, he needs to get through Bronson Reed. He needs to get through Braun Breaker. He needs to
get his hands on Seth Rollins. Yeah, there's a lot of work to do for Roman Reigns.
And if he can't get through Bronson Reed, then what?
Right, and Bronson Reed is no easy pickings,
especially in Australia in a street fight.
That's right. But Roman going like first of all, Roman calling him out immediately, going like, I've seen this play before. I know what Paul is doing. The same way last week, Paul Heyman is calling the same plays, and Roman's aware of it. The same way last week we brought up the stacking, the Jimmy and Jey Uso stacking. And it's like if one person is aware of that play, it's Roman Reigns. This week, he's literally saying, is this exactly what Paul Heyman just said to you? And the answer was yes. The answer is yes. He goes, yeah, I know. He has said that to me too. But it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? You could pick the step. You could pick the place. You could pick the time. He said, I'm levels above you.
Yeah, and Roman at this point in his career, he can read Paul Heyman like a book.
Of course he can.
He's spent so much time with Paul Heyman.
Of course he can. But also when Roman drops that on you, when Roman looks at you and goes, I'm levels above you, there is no scenario where we're doing this on your terms. They're all my terms. And it's not like Roman is doing this in the old Roman angry way. He's so matter of fact about it. And everybody watching is like, yeah. That's the thing. Like beating Roman Reigns, putting Roman Reigns on a stretcher, doing all this stuff is an immediate upgrade. Like the second you do it, you go up notches, except it's real tough to do. And it's especially really tough to maintain. And Roman Reigns on a mission is a different level of Roman Reigns.
When Roman Reigns says we're doing this on my terms, is anybody doubting him?
No. How could you? Right. He's giving you no reason to doubt him. And then, of course, the fight breaks out. Roman and Bronson. I think Bronson ate like 2 Superman punches, but he was still standing. I think this is gonna be a knockdown drag out. This is gonna be like, okay, Roman, you've had some time off. You've only had a handful of matches this year, but you're gonna hurt for all of them. Like whoever wins, like it's going to be throw everything at the wall. Because don't forget Bronson Reed. He put Seth Rollins through a car.
When was the last time we saw Roman in a street fight?
Technically, a triple threat is no disqualification, but it's not exactly a street fight. Yeah. It's been a long time. But also last week, we saw Roman like swinging that chair around like he was Shohei Ohtani, just knocking people out left and right. You know what I mean? So it's not like this is foreign territory to Roman Reigns. But I say all this to say like levels above, to talk about the work that Roman has to do. Because I think Roman is super conscious of what his mission is. And I thought there was a key moment tonight where Roman is talking to Jey.
Well, that's a big question about Roman, like what his mission is before, right? Because we know how important family is to Roman.
Yes.
But is this about the bloodline right now?
No. Well, everything is.
It sort of, yes.
But it's a revenge. It's about getting back at Paul Heyman. It all goes back to family and who betrays who and everything. But no, it's about getting back at the people who's wronged him. He's Charles Bronson in Death Wish. I'm just dropping references this week. But I mean, he's going back and he's getting everybody that's wronged him. You know, that people thought that the minute the bloodline started to dissipate or the minute that he lost the title, well, now the king has shown vulnerabilities. So everybody's going to come at the king. But, you know, you best not miss if you come at the king, you know? And I think that, so I think it's about Roman. It has nothing to do with the bloodline, to tell you the truth. It's not, we're not there.
Exactly.
Like, we've moved
this
on.
match between Roman and Bronson Reed is not one thing to do with bloodline.
No, but it is about Roman
Revenge.
getting revenge and making things right. And I mean, the bloodline in the sense that Roman believes that the richest prizes in the game should be in the possession of his family. You know what I mean? But
that's always.
It's always.
Mm-hmm.
It's all, you know, at some point related, but that's where they're at. And I find it very interesting because, you know, even last week, I feel like we've been talking about Jey Uso and where he stands, right? And Jey Uso as the next tribal chief, and Jey Uso, you know, acting like Roman Reigns, and Jimmy saying you're acting like Roman and thinking he's the next Roman and this and that. Maybe Roman's the next wise man, and coming up with all these theories. But in reality, it's almost too linear, you know, when you're thinking about it in those terms. Because I thought it was really clear cut when Roman comes backstage after his altercation with Big Bronson Reed, and he goes, and Jimmy and Jey are there, and Jimmy's going, you know, we got you, Uso. We know we got you. And as he's saying Jey is just cutting Jimmy off. I got you. I got you. You know I got you. Don't worry about that. I got you. But Roman doesn't say, yeah, oh, no. Here's the plan. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what you should be doing. He says, I thought I told you. You need to worry about you. In Roman's mind, he's not trying to coach Jey to be the next Roman Reigns. He's trying to coach Jey to be in the position that Roman was in as Jey, not as another Roman. Saying, I'm going to go do what I'm going to go do, but you need to go do what you're going to go do. And I mean, I love when the reality, like we've talked about Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins and how there's so much, and we'll talk about that in a moment with the Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman conversation, but there's so much reality in that, right? When Seth Rollins is talking about losing the locker room, is he talking about a storyline? Or is he talking about the fact that he's a locker room leader and the locker room has faith in him? It's this blurred line. And Roman Reigns looking at Jey Uso and saying, who's talking at the top of the hour? Is like, that's not a pro wrestling thing. That's not a story thing. That's a television, real life. A main person is going to be talking. That's what happens on Monday Night Raw.
9 o'clock. Who has the mic? It's CM Punk? Wait, I thought you wanted to be the guy.
Yeah,
I thought you wanted to be in the world heavyweight title picture. Why are you worried about me? Go worry about you.
Right.
And do what's best for you to put yourself in that position. And
the context of that's what the guy would be doing right now. That's what the guy is doing right now. And giving Jey like that advice. And it
stopped Jey in his tracks.
Of course it did.
Also, and maybe this is just me overanalyzing, but you tend to overanalyze.
I analyze just the right amount. It's not over.
It stood out to me that Jey Uso was, for the first time in a while, wearing a bright color. I know he's got a new t-shirt.
It matches
I know
the
he's
glasses.
wearing that merch. But he's been wearing black a lot lately. That's all.
It
seemed fun.
Yeeting ain't easy.
It seemed fun.
He's a fun guy.
The audience was having fun. We ran it back tonight.
He's having fun. He's having a good time. But I think that it spelled out that like, no, you need to own the rooms that you're in. Has nothing to do with me. Like, you don't need to be of service to me. In that moment, Roman was saying, don't be of service to me. Go be of service to yourself. And then after he left, he looked at Jimmy and he said, you know, I see everything, right? You know, I hear everything, right? And Jimmy's just like,
uh-oh.
Like, I knew, like, it's not to say Jimmy thinks that he's in the wrong.
Yeah, and it's not like Jimmy was trying to talk behind Roman's back.
Right, but he was kind of Was he saying stuff that he would say with Roman in the room?
Probably not.
You know, I don't think that he'd be so direct about saying you're acting like Roman and that's a bad thing.
He wouldn't be saying it so freely with Roman around.
No. And I want to tell you where it went and how we got to the top of that hour, but I also want to tell you about how to feel comfortable as autumn is approaching, how to feel comfortable in your clothes, how to look cool, but also feel right. You know what I mean? It's the best feeling in the world. I don't know how to dress. I put on these clothes. I don't know. Exactly. But then I find Mack Weldon and everything makes sense. You just go because it's comfortable. It's right for the temperature. And it looks good. With fall in full swing, more moments call for comfort that you can count on. Mack Weldon's got all the essentials for fall. Comfortable, easy to layer clothes designed for cooler days and timeless style. I love layering in the fall because you go out in the morning, it's cold. Then in the high noon, it starts to get warm again. Take a layer off. In the evening, gets cold again, but you're good to go. Comfortable all day and looking right, looking good all day. How about the Ace collection? The Ace collection is here for fall and it's got you right. You know what I mean? Because it's not just about being comfortable in the clothes that you're in. It's about knowing that you look good in them. It gives you that extra bit of confidence. It gives you the confidence to not only go out in social situations, but no matter what the weather is. Know that you're going to feel cool as well. You can explore new hoodies. You can get half zips, sweats, crew necks, and more at MackWeldon.com and get 20% off your first order of $125 or more with code RAWRECAP. Mack Weldon clothes are designed to fit your style and the demands of modern life. They look like regular clothes, but feel like the latest in modern comfort. For over 10 years, Mack Weldon has designed timeless, innovative menswear to help you move through the day with confidence, even if you're just hanging in your underpants, which I do. How's that for a visual? I wear my Mack Weldon backpack everywhere that I go. I bring it to work. It's the best. Fall into comfort with Mack Weldon's Ace collection. Go to MackWeldon.com and get 20% off your first order of $125 or more with promo code RAWRECAP. That's MackWeldon.com. Promo code RAWRECAP.
Talk about owning the room you're in.
Hey, you got to. Mack Weldon helps with it. So Jey Uso goes to own the room that he's in, right? CM Punk comes out. It's the first time we've seen CM Punk since he and AJ Lee, you remember, defeated Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. Reminder. Yes. And he said flat out he wants his World Heavyweight title back. He doesn't want to get involved in Cody's business, but he wants his World Heavyweight title back. Well, he says that's one of the
reasons that he was gone. One, because he was celebrating, and two, because he promised his friend Cody he wouldn't get involved in his business.
Right. But the same way he started the year beating Seth Rollins on Netflix, he wants to end the year beating Seth Rollins on Netflix, which would be a pretty amazing bookend.
Yeah.
And kind of wild that we are even talking about the idea that we're about to close out on the first year of Raw on Netflix. Everything is moving so quickly. Now, just as CM Punk is talking about wanting the World Heavyweight title back, here comes LA Knight. And LA Knight comes out, and he's right. He makes a good point.
I mean, he is the last one who's pinned Seth Rollins.
He's the last one that's pinned Seth Rollins.
And he's defeated him by disqualification, but the disqualification was because of CM Punk.
But regardless, Saturday night's main event, he's the last one that pinned Seth Rollins. And I think that is something that if he stops bringing it up, people will forget. So he's doing the right thing by constantly bringing it up. You know, he says, CM Punk, you're a great husband. And CM Punk says, is that an insult? And he goes, no. Love is good. Love is love is love is love is love. However, you're a terrible champion. That's the insult. You're a horrible World Heavyweight champion. Which I said, okay. There were two good lines. That was a great line. You're a great husband, but a horrible champion. And it was also great when he said, You know who has never, ever, 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 ever been pinned by Seth Rollins? And Punk immediately goes, let me guess, the guy who's never, ever, 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 ever been the world heavyweight champion? And it was like, whoo.
Oof.
And Dallas was loud tonight.
Yeah, and, it's hard to have the support of the crowd when you're in the ring with CM Punk. And to LA Knight's credit, there was a lot of Yaz out there tonight.
He was getting the room back for himself.
He was.
But just as CM Punk and LA Knight were wrestling for the room, here comes Jey Uso to take the top of the hour. He goes out there and he goes, well, I never got a rematch for the World Heavyweight title. And it's interesting that they all have a different claim. LA Knight's the last person to pin the champion. CM Punk got that Money in the Bank briefcase cashed in on him. And Jey Uso never got a rematch after Gunther beat him when he lost the World Heavyweight title.
And then there was another mic drop moment by CM Punk when he said to Jey Uso, look, I like Jey, but I don't like Little Roman.
He called him Little Roman. Don't call him Little Roman. Why would you call Jey Uso Little Roman? I know you're coming out here to interrupt him, right? Not interrupt me. Because I love Jey Uso, but I don't like Little Roman. And it's like, bro, first of all.
After the backstage interaction that Jey Uso just had with Roman, sort of getting the lecture like I told you.
Don't be me.
Focus on your business. Don't be me. Be you. And the first thing that happens is CM Punk calls him Little Roman.
And nobody wants to be called little anything. A grown man doesn't want to be called little anything. There's no good there's nothing after that. Unless you're a little giant. Other than that, no. It's all bad news. So a fight almost breaks out. And Jimmy starts holding Jey back. Which, first of all, I am kind of like, you didn't need to come out. Jimmy didn't need to be out there. And also, Jimmy didn't need to hold Jey back. I don't know why anybody on the WWE roster would be like, hey, let's avoid confrontation. That's not what we do. We don't avoid confrontation in pro wrestling. So I was like, right there, like this isn't going to end well. CM Punk almost gets super kicked, but Jimmy literally grabs Jey by the waist to stop him, at which point CM Punk sucker punches Jey Uso in the side of the head. Clock, just like sucker punches him.
Too.
Yeah. And I'm like, sheesh. And then Jimmy has his wits about him and super kicks CM Punk.
Now, how do you think Jey feels about Jimmy getting involved in all of this?
Well, he said it. They went backstage. He's like, what are you doing? Get out of here. I didn't ask for you to come out. The reason I got sucker punched in the side of the head is because you held me back. I was doing just fine. And, I think on one end, Jimmy's sitting there going like, well, I did have your back and I did kick CM Punk in the face when it was appropriate to kick CM Punk in the face.
It's interesting because Jimmy comes back to Raw not that long ago, and we're all excited about this super team that they can form. And it's been a lot of, I don't want to say total dysfunction, but a lot of miscommunication between the two of these brothers.
Yeah, because Jimmy thinks it's 3 years ago.
And Jey has been changed because he was a world heavyweight champion. And Jimmy had to be reminded today about how his brother changed. When Roman looked at him and said, look, when your brother became world heavyweight champion, he became less like you.
Well, here's this. Okay. They go backstage after the thing, right? And Jey is now yelling at Jimmy and saying, I was out there calling the play. Who was the last person that yelled at an Uso? I'm the one that's calling the play, not you.
Roman?
Yes. That's straight out of the Roman Reigns playbook. But if you remember when Roman first came back and Jimmy showed up again to help Roman was like, did you just call that play? Good job, Jimmy. Like good job. But I do think, the way it was explained, right? That Jey storms off and Jimmy said, you know what? And I respected that Jimmy stood up to Roman. Jimmy says, you know what, Roman? Like, I said that I'm not like you. And Jay's not like you either. And I'm like, okay, say it with your whole chest. But then I was like, why is Jimmy talking for Jey? It's one thing to say, I'm not like you, but it's another thing to say Jay's not like you. And then Roman just very calmly say, I know you're not like me, but I'm going to tell you, after winning the world heavyweight title. Jay is more like me than he is like you. And in that moment, I'm going like, listen, it's a hard pill to swallow. It's a hard truth. But the reality is, isn't Roman right?
He is 100% right.
Like, is Roman really in the wrong on this? Or is Jimmy having trouble realizing that things have changed?
Well, when we've talked about this on the show before, becoming a champion, it changes everything, right? And it's the life that comes along with being a champion. We've talked about this with Big E on the show. Roman has gone through that. Jay has gone through that. Jimmy has never gone through that and can't understand it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think too, it's just that, and there's something about being brothers too, that I'm sure changes everything. But like the way Roman laid it out, he's like, bro, I'm giving advice as a world champion to a world champion. Like that's something that you're going to have to deal with. And I mean, I don't know. My whole kind of perspective on what's going on changed after those interactions, from like Jay wants to be the new tribal chief, wants to be this, to just no, Jay wants to be a world heavyweight championship wrestler. And he's getting advice from the person in his family that's done it arguably better than anybody else has in 35 years or more. Roman Reigns. I mean, who else are you going to go to?
What a resource, right?
Yeah. And who else are you going to go to for that? So for me, I'm sitting there going like, man, I love Jimmy. I was first in line for wanting to see the Usos back, but also they said it with a tinge of disrespect. Both CM Punk and LA Knight said, why don't you go back to being a tag team? Why don't you go back to being a tag team? It's like, excuse me? Raise your hand if you won the title at WrestleMania. Like, sorry. And then CM Punk could say, well, raise your hand if you won it at SummerSlam. Big deal.
But then.
But that gets more complicated. But yeah, I mean, Jey Uso won he's like, whoa. And if I'm Jimmy too, like, I'm looking at these guys going like, these aren't my friends. You know what I mean? The way they're treating Jay, the way they're looking at Jimmy through Jay, they're acting selfishly. Nobody is sitting there watching Jimmy's back.
No.
So I don't know why Jimmy's watching everyone's back.
Yeah, and Jimmy, it was a few weeks ago, he was out there to try and help LA Knight. I mean, Jimmy wants to help everybody. He has to learn the hard way. But it is interesting as well, because a week ago, we sat in this room and we were talking about the look between Roman Reigns and Jey Uso as Monday Night Raw came to a close. And it almost felt like, and I think you brought this up, that maybe Roman's becoming tribal chief. I mean, Jay is becoming tribal chief, Roman becoming wise man. After tonight, it feels entirely different.
It's entirely different, and it should be, because they're different people. And you learn from history, but you don't just repeat it over and over again. You don't just go like, oh, we could just remember that thing that we did? We'll do it again with different people. No, you know why? Remakes stink. Remakes are the worst. Every now and then.
Father of the Bride 2 is pretty good.
That's a sequel, not a remake.
That's right. It is. Yeah.
Sequels can be okay. Many are terrible.
Toy Story 2 is a good one.
Toy Story 2 is good. Godfather 2 is good. But Godfather 3 stinks. And remakes. This wouldn't be a sequel. The way it was being phrased was it felt more like a remake. And remakes stink. And Jay knows that, and Roman knows that, and Jimmy knows that, and we know that. And so we get to this tag team match finally. Jimmy and Jey Uso versus CM Punk and LA Knight. And at the end, I mean, at the 3/4 into the match, the Usos are kind of acting like the old Usos. You know what I mean? Lots of teamwork, lots of like that one where Jay had, I think it was LA Knight, but it could have been CM Punk, in a leg lock and dragged him to the rope so he could get the tag in, and then Jimmy comes in and does this. I thought it was great. But Jimmy ends up out of commission. Jay ends up having to take care of both guys on his own. Jay almost gets the second Uso splash that he needs, but isn't able to because he's got to go take care of LA Knight, turns around, eats a go to sleep, and then LA Knight with the blind tag pins Jey Uso 1, 2, 3. Now look, wins, losses, it is what it is. The most damaging part of all of it is that now going forward, what do you think LA Knight's going to say? I pinned you, Jey Uso. I pinned you.
Pinned him. Pinned Seth Rollins.
Yeah, so I'm next in line. And if I'm Jey, I'm going, where were you, Jimmy? That's the question that's going to be on Jey's mind. It's going to get tense. It's going to get tense. Well, I'll tell you, we can celebrate all of it. We can celebrate Jey. We can even celebrate Rhea Ripley, who is not on Monday Night Raw this week. She's already over there in Australia through the new wave of the Complex WWE collab. It just dropped at WWE Shop and Fanatics. It's got all kinds of superstars. The Rock, who just, his movie, The Smash Machine, just debuted. Roman Reigns, Triple H. Let me tell you, the collection will not last long. Check it out. Grab your favorites while they're still available. They're really, really cool. The designs, they're just very sort of modern looking. Then you've also got new Rhea Ripley merch. Rhea Ripley is teaming up with one of my favorite movies, Terrifier. Oh. Now, Terrifier has mastered the sequel. Terrifier 2 is even better. Terrifier 3 is the best.
But the remake.
I would never do a remake.
Okay.
Remakes are no good. But Rhea Ripley loves Terrifier like I love Terrifier, and she's gotten to team up with the whole team over there and Art the Clown for an official collab that is now live at WWE Shop and Fanatics. You can add some edge to your collection with these tees today. And, of course, you brought up Jey Uso's new merch.
I like Jey Uso in the neon.
I know. I might have to.
Sporting the black a lot lately. The neon feels more like Jey Uso.
I might have to pick it up and add it to my son's Halloween costume.
I love it.
Jey Uso's brand new green Yeet collection just dropped at WWE Shop and Fanatics, featuring tees, hoodies, hats, shades, arm sleeves, and even foam hands. So get it all now at WWE Shop and Fanatics. Now, before we go on to where Rhea Ripley was and what happened with the Kabuki Warriors leading into Crown Jewel, we should, while we're talking about, Jey and Jimmy and Roman, we should talk about Seth Rollins.
We have to.
We only saw him for a moment. And, you've talked about the importance of that watch, the WrestleMania 40 Rolex that Cody Rhodes gifted Seth Rollins after Seth acted as Cody's shield. And we saw a little bit of that in that wonderful video package that they put together, kind of chronicling the allies portion of Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. And even as allies, I don't know if they were ever really friends. They might have been on fighting a common enemy, I'll say. But it definitely went over when Seth was Cody's shield in that Roman Reigns match at WrestleMania 40, where
Cody finished his story thanks to Seth Rollins.
And Seth got the watch. But Seth is now very distracted by it. Becky, who we'll talk about in a moment, she's very mad. She's pacing up and down in that dressing room.
Do you blame her?
No, I'd be mad if I lost like that too.
We'll get into that.
Okay. So she was pacing up and down, very mad at the referee. But as she was talking, she's saying she's not going to Perth. She's going to teach him a lesson. She's not going to Perth. Seth Rollins was on another planet.
Yeah, he was locked in and focused on something, and it wasn't his wife, and it wasn't her issues whatsoever.
No, which is, I have been there. But he also wasn't too focused on what was going on with the rest of the vision.
No.
He's focused on one thing and one thing only.
And that's Cody Rhodes.
Yes. He's staring at that watch while Becky Lynch is like fuming and then ends up leaving the room. And he looks at Paul Heyman, does Cody Rhodes, and he says, does Seth Rollins, and he says, I have to beat Cody Rhodes. And Paul Heyman says, and you will beat Cody Rhodes. And he goes, no, Paul, I have to beat Cody Rhodes. And you will beat Cody Rhodes. What happens if I don't beat Cody Rhodes? Well, what do you mean? You will. But if I don't, you will. But if I don't. And then Paul says, okay, you want me to shoot you straight? You want me to tell you what happens if you don't? If you don't beat Cody Rhodes.
Paul's entire demeanor changes.
Yeah, like, fine, dude. You want to know the hard truth? And maybe Seth needed to hear the hard truth. He goes, if you lose to Cody Rhodes, you lose the locker room. You will lose the audience. You will lose Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. You will lose everyone's faith in you and the vision that you had. You will lose everything that we created coming off of WrestleMania. It all goes away if you lose this match to Cody Rhodes. And he makes a brilliant point, because how do we sit there and trust the vision of a guy who can't beat the guy? You can't tell me you're the guy if you can't beat the guy. Because
if you're the secondary champion, how are you the future? How are you the vision?
Well, I've heard many times, to be the man, you've got to beat the man. So then Rollins goes, well, you left something out, Paul. What about you?
And we are both just sitting there with anticipation, because we know one thing about Paul Heyman.
Whose side's he on?
The winner's side.
Okay.
Always on the winner's side. So I'm dying to hear what Paul Heyman has to say to this, because Paul risked it all to join Seth Rollins and the Vision.
And I'm sitting there going like, okay, maybe the strategy, because I'm trying to get into it, the head of a oracle, you know, an oracle who prophesizes. And I'm going, okay, maybe Seth needs to hear the hard truth. Maybe this is part of Seth's motivation, that if he hears what a risk this all is, that it will make him be better. But I go, but then, I mean, think about like how people who are these psychotic and maniacal leaders are. Sometimes they need to hear the hard truths. But then if they're successful, they'll hold it against you for telling them the hard truth. You know what I mean? It's a complicated, messed up, toxic thing.
But that's the type of leader Seth Rollins is.
Couldn't you see Seth Rollins, if Paul Heyman said to him, if you lose, I'm out of here? I could see that being the motivational factor that Seth Rollins needed. But then I could see Seth Rollins on the other side of it, holding it against Paul Heyman instead of understanding it was the motivation that he needed. Couldn't you?
Yeah, and Paul could just say, well, I was being honest with what would happen. But then Seth, again, holding that against him.
Right, because if somebody goes to me, if I go hot dog, if I don't get this right, are you going to leave me? And hot dog goes, yeah, I will. And then I get it right. And then hot dog goes, good job, boss, I'm not leaving. I go, yeah, you're fired.
Don't ever forget about the night when Seth Rollins came out on Monday Night Raw with the green suit and those glasses. Do you remember those glasses that he had? Oh, they were the little tiny specks. And it was really the first time that we got a glimpse into how psychotic, how manipulative Seth is as a leader. And I think of this example backstage with Paul Heyman.
Because the glasses?
Just his whole demeanor.
I see.
It was shortly after WrestleMania. He had the glasses on. He had the green outfit on. And
very super villain-esque.
Exactly. And we just saw the different levels and the layers to the villain that is Seth Rollins.
Manipulation.
Yes.
I see. Yes. No, I like that. But Paul Heyman says, in the most Paul Heyman way ever, the most diplomatic way ever, he says, I would have to question, if you were to lose to Cody Rhodes, I would have to question what I was doing. I would have to question why I chose you over Roman Reigns, which I'm just like, man, I need to learn how to talk to people like this. Because he figured out a way to say, yeah, it's going to be trouble if you lose. However, he did it in such a complimentary, like, what are you talking about, Seth? I said that I chose you over Roman Reigns. That's the biggest deal ever. I mean, it's just, the Machiavellian craziness that exists in Paul Heyman's head. I've just never seen anything like it before.
He's brilliant.
I can't believe he got out of that.
Also knows, just by even saying the name Roman Reigns, what that does in Seth Rollins' brain.
Oh yeah. That Roman trigger kicks in. Oh. And
I mean, he could have said another way about, like, he could have brought CM Punk into the mix,
but it's not the same.
It's not the same.
It doesn't touch the same nerve.
Yes.
You know, Roman's family. CM Punk is a guy he hates. It's different. It's a different thing. Because you know what happens with real hate? You know what's on the other side of it?
Love.
Yeah. Yes. And that's what's there, I think, for Roman Reigns. But the reason that Becky was so upset in the locker room was because, first of all, she was involved in Maxine Dupri's best match in the WWE.
Yes.
Maxine Dupri unleashing quite an onslaught onto Becky Lynch. I think putting up more of a fight than Becky Lynch thought. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think more of a fight than Dallas thought. I mean, they had the crowd chanting
Diamond?
This is off. Dallas? They were in
Paige.
Dallas tonight?
Oh, I thought you meant Dallas Page.
No,
Page.
Dallas.
Oh, okay.
They were in Dallas. Monday
Right.
Night Raw tonight was in Dallas.
Texas. Is that what those
Yeah.
cheerleaders were doing there?
That's exactly.
Oh, I
yes.
thought they just like wrestling. I was going to hit them up.
Well, you should still hit them up. Good
They're
luck
in
to you.
Yeah, thank
But
you.
Dallas was chanting, "This is awesome."
Yeah,
I mean,
it
I
was.
think it was. I mean, I don't mean this as disrespect to Maxine Dupri, but I don't know if many people were expecting that type of match or that performance out of Maxine Dupri tonight.
I don't think that's disrespectful to see the best match that somebody's had in their entire career and say, I don't. How does anybody to go in and say, you know what my expectations are? The best match you've ever had. I go, that's a little tough. It's a lot to put on me right now. So I don't take that as disrespectful. But what ends up happening in the match is I think from my vantage point, I think Becky lost a little focus. I think it was a fabulous match, but she was jaw-jacking with the audience. She was jaw-jacking with the commentary table. At one point, she had the referee pinned into the corner, holding the ropes and yelling in her face.
Well,
That's not exactly the best way to treat an official.
I mean, this is Jessica Carr we're talking about. Her and Becky Lynch have a past.
What's the past?
The past is that Jessica Carr screwed her over in Indianapolis. We all saw the clip
When?
on Twitter. Becky Lynch has never tapped out in her career.
She did
And
at
then-
WrestlePalooza, which was also
she
in
was
Indianapolis,
just
because you can't be talking about
flailing her
WrestlePalooza.
hands, and we know
Flailing her hand,
we know from
That's
social
not
media
flailing.
that Jessica Carr has a past relationship growing up as a fan of both AJ Lee and CM Punk. A little bit skeptical, and I can get our guys in the back to play back this footage, but as soon as Maxine Dupri gets back into the ring tonight, suddenly Jessica Carr's cadence when she's counting increases. 8, 9, 10.
Listen.
That's not right. And, I'm sick of it. All weekend, I'm watching the NFL and these officials, these referees, they try to make it all about themselves. I'm watching Sunday Night Football, and here's Jack O'Celli, and he's making it all about himself. I turn on Monday Night Raw. Here's Jessica Carr making it all about herself. She is trying to take the spotlight away from Becky Lynch.
Jessica Carr?
Yes.
She's the Jack O'Celli of WWE?
There should be fines. There should be suspensions. I mean,
What would it be?
is Jack Tony when you need him? Where is he?
I don't know.
Where is he, Sam?
I think Adam Pearce is actually in charge now. I don't know where Jack Tunney is right now. He's not in power, unfortunately, anymore. I don't know that Jack Tunney would have let this slide. Jack Tunney he did rule in a fair way with an iron fist, as
Fines,
Canadians tend to do.
suspensions. It's not about the referee taking away Becky Lynch's
multiple
spotlight.
fines and suspensions. Multiple.
I
You
mean, for
pluralize them.
Indianapolis tonight. Look at Jessica Carr's cadence. Look at it.
She sped up a little.
A little.
Becky had her back to the referee. She had her back to the match.
It's not about the referee. No one comes to see the referee.
You're not even saying that Jessica Carr has a problem with Becky Lynch. You're saying she went into business for herself.
Saw it in Sunday Night Football. Saw it on Monday Night Raw. What the heck is going on?
No, I know. It's a good question. I just never, I thought you might say that she had it out for Becky. I did not in a million years think you would accuse her of trying to be a star.
We should be talking here tonight about how Maxine Dupri had the best match of her career.
We were.
And what we're talking about? The referee.
I was
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I already talked about Maxine had the best match of her career.
We should be talking about it more. But instead, we have to talk about the referees. It's terrible.
I didn't bring up the referee.
I mean, you have to bring it up in a match like this, right?
Because she stole the spotlight? You
Yes.
mean? I see. Because she was making it seem like people pay tickets to see her, not the superstars.
Suspensions, fines.
Both. Huh. On what grounds? The cadence?
Yes, the cadence.
Okay.
Don't you take an oath as a referee
No.
to always be not biased?
No. Can we check in the control room? Is there a referee oath? I don't know. Alex says no. We're looking it up. They're trying to find the referee oath. And Jack Tunney is being.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're looking for Jack Tunney too. We're looking for the last phone number he had, because I don't know that he's been in power for a while. But yeah, no. I guess the cadence did change.
Thank you.
The cadence changed. I think that it was more to teach Becky a lesson, because she was being disrespectful to the official, and she had her back to the match and was standing on the commentary table, looking at the audience, really not focused on the task at hand. But maybe it's really not the referee's job to teach a lesson so much, or to make it about herself. I don't know that there should be fines or suspensions, but other people might. And that's not my judgment call to make. But I will tell you, speaking of AJ Lee's return.
Are you okay?
Yeah. No, I was just thinking about how Tops Now celebrated AJ Lee's return. Tops Now may have to celebrate this as one of the most egregious displays of officiating in the history of wrestling. That's a moment.
It is a moment.
And Tops Now is all about moments, capturing major milestones and viral moments from the biggest events like AJ Lee's return, which skyrocketed to the number 3 best-selling Tops Now WWE card ever. Crown Jewel is coming up this weekend, and we're going to have massive matches. We were just talking about Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Rhea Ripley's going to be there. John Cena, who we'll talk about in a moment. There's bound to be some memorable and viral moments, and they're going to be immortalized on Tops Now cards. The only way to make sure that you don't miss any drops is to sign up for notifications at Tops.com and follow @Tops on social. You won't want to miss any of these. I mean, going through my Tops Now cards that I was collecting all year, and realizing all this stuff happened over the course of a year, it's just really, really cool. So go check it out and turn those alerts on, so you know when the cards come out.
I just found out that Jack Tunney got counted out in 2004.
Counted out?
Yeah.
Jessica Carr?
Wow.
Counted out.
Yeah, counted out.
Right. So, John Cena, final match with AJ Styles happening at Crown Jewel. We have not seen John Cena. And, I'll tell you, there have been people that have publicly said, I don't know. I like when there's a story. What's the story with AJ Styles and John Cena? To me, the AJ Styles John Cena story is bigger than a singular storyline, just because it's encompassing of one of John Cena's greatest rivalries ever. And I think AJ Styles made that point abundantly clear when, after the 6-man tag that he was in, he jumped up and broke down the fact that this match is going to kick ass. And that's the mission at hand, to just put on an amazing, amazing match. But before we got there, it was Penta, it was AJ Styles, it was Dragon Lee versus Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, and JD McDonough. Now, I would like to know where Dominic Mysterio got that T-shirt of himself as a little kid.
Awesome.
I would wear, that's one. That's one that I would need. I'm going to email Craig and see if he can get me the little baby Dominic Mysterio T-shirt.
We all need that one.
We do. I really think we do.
Yeah.
That's that has the potential to be the next Austin 316 or NWO T-shirt. Is Dominic, little baby bleach blonde Dominic Blake PSP. But we're watching this match, and I will say Penta, AJ, and Dragon were working very well together. But ultimately, and of course, then the Judgment Day were able to mount a comeback. But ultimately, Rusev came out. Dom hit the road. Dom doesn't want anything to do with Rusev.
Do you blame him?
No. No. Rusev had no business being out there, but it didn't seem to bother him one bit. So Dom split. The only thing that may look good for Dom is at that point, Penta accidentally kicks Rusev in his face, which Penta didn't really seem that broken up about. He's like, well, he wasn't my intended target, but
he was there.
He was there. He got kicked in the face. What do you want me to do? And then it left AJ Styles pinning JD McDonough. AJ Styles coming off a victory, going into Crown Jewel. Now, we will, by the way, have AJ Styles on our Crown Jewel preview podcast. We're going to do a preview podcast for Crown Jewel later this week. Big E is going to be on it with us. AJ Styles is going to be our guest on it. And of course, we're going to talk to him about this match. It'll be on Thursday, wherever you get your podcast, on this podcast feed, on the WWE's YouTube channel. You'll be able to check out our Crown Jewel preview podcast with Big E and our guest, AJ Styles. But you know, it's interesting. This version of AJ Styles really has a chip on his shoulder. It feels like AJ has been open about the fact that he may not have all that much longer left in his wrestling career, but he's also been pretty open about the fact that he's not terribly happy with where he's at in WWE right now. That he has been vocal about the fact that maybe there are people there that don't value him the way he feels like he should be valued. And I think that chip on AJ Styles' shoulder going into this match with John Cena is going to give us something that, I mean, blows us out of the water.
Yeah, and everybody's talking about what is the story. It's like the story is that we didn't think we were going to see AJ Styles against John Cena.
Right. That's right.
And because the fans want AJ Styles and John Cena, and we saw this all started on social media, right?
Yeah.
We saw the John Cena tweet. We talked about it on this show. And then Triple H, a day later, comes out with another tweet.
Boom.
Saying, you guys wanted it. It's going to happen.
You got it.
And now AJ has this opportunity to show everybody that he still is AJ Styles.
Well, it's very interesting because John Cena and AJ Styles are in very unique positions going into this match, because you're right 100% about AJ Styles. That AJ Styles has this match with John Cena. Historically, AJ and John bring out the absolute best in each other. We saw a video package about it tonight on Raw. But AJ absolutely can use this match to show what he can still do. And if it hits the right way, who knows where he ends up? He may end up back in main events. He may end up reminding a lot of people what he's capable of. But I don't think enough people are bringing up the fact that John Cena is not on a happy-go-lucky run right now. That John Cena lost to Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam, but it was such a great match, it's almost okay. Then he beat Logan Paul, and he's back to being a good guy, and he's back to all of us cheering for him, and it's all fun.
And then what happens in Indianapolis?
There's a big brick wall named Brock Lesnar that John Cena walked face first into. John Cena got absolutely wrecked to the point where fans looked at it going like, we didn't even want to see this. Like, this is, what did I tell you?
It was a SummerSlam match.
It was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Didn't it feel uncomfortable? Like you can't, what? Huh?
How many F5s?
Right. And so John Cena, it's like John Cena has to come back into this and somehow brush that one off and like go above and beyond himself in this match so that people go, okay, I'm back into it. Because there were a lot of people after John Cena got crushed that were like, I don't know, man. I don't know if this is what I wanted in this John Cena retirement tour. So you've now got in a position which should just be, that's to me, this is the story of the match. That you've got two guys who it should just be a celebration of two legends having one last match in their storied careers.
But now they both have something to prove.
But at this stage in their careers, John Cena has to get his retirement year back. He's lost hold of it. He's got to get it back. AJ Styles has to remind everybody, powers that be included, what he's capable of in terms of being a main event player, and that he's still capable of putting on better matches than anybody in the world. And that's what those two guys have on their plates going in. And quite frankly, those are the expectations that I think a lot of us have going into this match. And that's a lot to live up to, especially when you've got two guys that, you know, John Cena has 4 matches in his career left after this, and AJ Styles, who knows? Not many. It's a wild thing. It's a wild thing, and I think I'm very interested to see how it all pans out. Speaking of interested, I'm also very interested in Fanatics 1. You didn't hear about Fanatics 1?
Oh, I've heard about Fanatics 1.
I hope so. I've introduced it to you.
Yeah.
Fanatics 1, for all you give to the game now, there's a loyalty program that gives back to you. Yes, because being a fan deserves to be rewarded. Only Fanatics One members can earn fan cash and all that comes with it. Exclusive apparel, iconic experiences, and rewards tailored to your fandom better than anyone else in the game. Join now on the Fanatics app and enjoy member benefits from day one. Free shipping and returns, exclusive access to product drops, and the ability to earn and redeem fan cash whenever you shop and play with Fanatics. Do it now. Check out the Fanatics app. Join Fanatics One. And I do want to say, well, we've got a few minutes. Kairi Sane is in a rough spot.
I feel terribly for Kairi Sane.
I mean, when push comes to shove, though, she's got one of the nastiest elbows in the business. And she'll use it.
I love seeing Kairi Sane hit the elbow. I don't know if Kairi Sane loved hitting that elbow tonight.
I don't know, man. I mean, listen, I think at the end of the day, it's not like Io Sky had a problem fighting Kairi Sane. Like, this is wrestling. You know, when you're in there, I know you don't want to beat up your friend or whatever it is, but if you're friends with the people that are in the business of beating people up, sometimes you got to beat up your friends.
Yeah, it wasn't the fact that they had to have a match against each other that bothered either Io or Kairi Sane. I think it was the fact that the match was over and Asuka ordered Kairi Sane to then hit the elbow on Io Sky.
I don't think that's true because in the reason that Kairi had trouble in that match is because she hesitated in the match on the insane elbow. She got to the top rope. There was a moment of hesitation, and it was all Io needed to get her feet up. First of all, incredible match. Really wonderful match. It was these two are just out of this world. But it allows Io to get her feet up. That's when Asuka got involved. Kairi, hooks the legs and bridges over Io. And by the way, Jessica Carr didn't catch this one.
Oh, shocking. Look at that. Jessica Carr. Big night for her.
Asuka, she's going to be mad at you. Asuka pulls her wrist, adds the leverage so that Kairi gets the victory. But honestly, it was an Asuka victory. Asuka is very much pulling the strings. And it feels like with Asuka, there's no halfway in, halfway out. Either you're in or you're out. And that's something Kairi Sane needs to get comfortable with.
I mean, I feel like she doesn't have a choice at this moment, right?
Yeah.
Io has left.
And she got misted twice, 3 times maybe.
And also, you never know what kind of tricks Asuka has up her sleeve.
Oh my God, the worst kind of tricks.
I mean, Asuka's the one who brought these two into WWE, paved the way.
Right.
For Kairi Sane and Io Sky.
Family.
To be able to have the careers that they've had.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
I mean, open
the door.
You get credit for opening the door. It doesn't mean you get indentured servitude.
Yes.
You get a thank you for opening the door.
But Kairi feels indebted to Asuka.
And I think Kairi's a little bit less secure in herself than Io is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Io's been a world champion.
And maybe Kairi doesn't know for sure
where she fits
without Asuka. But that's not the worst thing in the world. I'm going to tell you something. It might be difficult to have Asuka as a friend. It feels way worse to have Asuka as an enemy.
Oh, yes.
Sometimes you just go with like the lesser of two evils and go, this is the direction that I'm going in. Now, Rhea Ripley was not there because she's already in Australia doing media and whatnot. But when push came to shove, whether she was making a sad face or not, Kairi still hit that elbow on Io.
She did.
And I think Kairi's got to figure out going into Crown Jewel if she wants to be friends with Io or she wants to win this tag match. Because I don't think this is the type of tag match where up next comes a shot at the Women's Tag Team Championship. I think this is the type of tag match where the winning tag team is launched into the singles championship scene. Meaning, if Asuka and Kairi Sane were to win this tag match, I think both Asuka and Kairi Sane are looking straight ahead at somebody like Stephanie Vaquer.
Yes.
Which is massive for both of them.
Without question. I also think Kairi Sane needs to figure out, do I want Asuka as a friend, or do I want to be on Asuka's bad side? Because it's not, do I want to be friends with Io or do I want to be friends with Asuka? It's not picking one or two.
No.
It's, do I stay with Asuka, or what does life without Asuka look like? And can I handle that?
And come on. Just because your friends are a little difficult doesn't mean you leave them. Kairi and Asuka, the Kabuki Warriors, legendary. Legendary.
It almost seems like a dictatorship at the moment.
Well, look, if somebody's a more powerful leader, that's just the way it is sometimes. You know, if people aren't ready to step up to the leadership.
There's leading and then there's abuse.
Abuse for Kairi? Just a little screaming here and there.
Just a little.
Asuka got her a Raw match. That's huge.
A match against Io Sky.
Io Sky's a giant superstar.
Yes, but also given the emotions.
Oh, come on.
Of the
emotions
situation?
again. What? I'll fight anybody as long as they don't make me feel sad.
Oh, Mr. Feelings over here. Suddenly forget about emotions?
I'm not a wrestler. I'm a broadcaster. It's different. And I'm telling you right now, when you're looking at Perth and you're looking at Crown Jewel and you're looking at Rhea Ripley and Io Sky on one side of the ring, one of the most massive women's tag teams that the WWE has ever had. Add to that, you're in Australia, where Rhea Ripley could be the president if she wanted to. Okay?
Yeah, they said that about her.
That's right. Then you've got the Kabuki Warriors on the other side of the ring, one of the most decorated WWE women's tag teams of all time. This is a massive match. This is a massive spotlight match. This is not the time to have emotions. This is not the time to go like, oh, I hope everyone's going to be okay and we can all hang out after this. It's about zeroing in and focusing on the moment and the task at hand.
And can Kairi do that right now?
I hope so. I really hope so.
I have my doubts.
Because when the Kabuki Warriors are on, I mean, there's no stopping them. No stopping them.
But how about when the entire crowd is siding with Rhea Ripley?
Let it be. I don't think Asuka's out there for fan approval.
No, she's not.
You know?
Asuka's experienced it all at this point in her
She's
career.
got, ebbs and flows and ups and downs. I mean, this isn't, I don't think that's why Asuka's showing up to Perth. I don't think she's showing up to get cheered. I think she's showing up to put a beating on some people.
And you talk about this victory catapulting whoever it is to the likes of Stephanie Vaquer.
That's right. I think so.
Asuka's like, bring her on.
Well, I mean, think about it. Think about it. If the Kabuki Warriors win, either Asuka or Kairi will have beaten either Io Sky or Rhea Ripley.
Which is insane.
And I think in the women's division, if you are a person who just pinned either Rhea Ripley or Io Sky, there's no doubt in my mind that you should be moving forward and saying, okay, now that I've pinned that person, I'd like a shot at the championship, please.
No arguments from me on that one.
Well, we're going to break down this match. We're going to break down the Crown Jewel championship match between Stephanie Vaquer and Tiffany Stratton, and every other match going down at Crown Jewel later this week on Thursday on the Crown Jewel preview podcast here on the Raw Recap feed. Then we will be on after Crown Jewel to do the Crown Jewel Recap podcast, which will be early in the day, I hope, on Saturday, since it'll be an early show. And then we'll be right back here again. That's 3 podcasts this week. And then back here on Monday for the next Raw Recap. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you then.